Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you're just happy to see me?
Hello, everybody. Yes, sorry for being extra late tonight. Something came up at like pretty much the very last minute. So I'm not sure how my mic is coming. It's reading the mic itself. So, but like it sounds off, and it has to be StreamYard's on StreamYard's end or YouTube's end. But yeah. So, but we are covering Kill Bill Volume 1. It's how do I put this? A very interesting revenge fantasy movie. It's obviously split up into two parts. There's a volume 1 and volume 2. Basically, in the end is pretty much like is in the title. Is in the title. Her whole entire mission is basically going through all the ones that wronged her, and we'll go into how they wronged her. But ultimately, her goal is to kill Bill. At least in this movie, we have no idea who Bill is. I mean, we know from the cast and the sound of his voice, we know who the actor is playing him. But in the first movie, we never see Bill. Yeah. It's not until Volume 2 when we actually see who Bill is and what his relation is to not only the bride, like basically she's known as the bride. Primarily throughout both Volume 1 and Volume 2. Hold on, I'm gonna respond.
Goddamn family members, they won't learn.
I'm gonna pretty much put my phone on silent.
Mic checking for the chat. How's my audio sounding? Right. Am I sounding good?
So yes, but you only hear his voice in the first film, and we only really know Uma Thurman's character as the bride, and we get that from the scene where the local law enforcement is basically analyzing the crime scene and saying this is the name that's on the registry, and it's obviously a fake, so we're calling her the bride because of how she's dressed, because she's literally dressed as a bride.
Yeah,
and it goes from there. The only thing that I understand for time with movies, so you're not able to go into everything necessarily, but really the focus on the vengeance for this one was Lucy Liu's character, because right off the bat we see Uma Thurman's character go after Vivica A. Fox's character, but we don't know exactly Fox's character's background. We just know one or two things based on their conversation, but that's primarily it. Otherwise, the real focus is, hey, this chick played by Lucy Lawless, she's a psychopath. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, before I say hello to the chat and we get into basically going through the movie, we're not going to cover necessarily everything, because a lot of it is really just the characters in the first movie, and even in the second movie. As much as this is an action-oriented movie, a lot of it is basically just talking about the characters. So before I say hello to the chat, Orange Chat, let everybody know where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
Well, you can find me on my channel, Orange Hat. I've been covering some of the Acolyte failure reactions. I have 2 videos of that up. I also did a long-form video on Rachel Zegler and Disney, and how, Disney is doomed to fail with Snow White. And YouTube's actively erasing views off of that. So any views on that come my way is appreciated. Tuesday or tonight, obviously, and next week we're doing Kill Bill Volume 1 here on Mars channel. Tomorrow night on X, on my profile, Orange Hat 2185. It's the singles. Tomorrow night is G.I. Jane, one of my favorite female-led movies. Friday night is Orange Hat Uncensored. Sunday night, weekly recap. Monday night rants. And Tuesday, next Tuesday, we'll be finishing out the Badass Actors of Badassery August. And it's going to be Keanu Reeves movies that I will be discussing, as well as Keanu Reeves himself. So, and the Barroom Podcast Tuesday night at 9. And I'm trying to reach 2,000 subs, so any help there is also appreciated.
All right, yeah. So yeah, go check out Orange Hat's channel, his streams. YouTube is asshole, but yes.
Oh, YouTube is beyond asshole. I actually started screenshotting the views as they were going or as they were being erased.
So, but we'll again, like I have in the description, YouTube, that this falls under fair use. We were just discussing it, and I will be basically pausing the film at scene, so I'll be playing no sound. If I do play anything, again, it'll be with no sound, and it'll be like pause, stop, pause, stop, pause, stop. So there'd be no way for anyone to at all extract the clip from my stream to upload and break any copyright laws. All right, but I gave credit, all right, to the production company as well as to the distribution company for this film, as well as put the trailer in the description. Okay, we're just discussing the film.
Yep.
But from the top, I see Trey Courtney's ready for a lit discussion. The opening fight and the last fight, pretty much. It basically begins with the fight and ends with the fight in this movie, which is basically symmetry in this film. Good evening, lurking. No worries, Gravy D. Jaluk, hello, and thank you for resubscribing as a member. Appreciate that for 18 months. Mr. Benton thinks he enjoys Kill Bill 2 more than 1, but great set of films. I don't know why they would make another. Yeah, kind of saw that little thing going around about possibility of a Kill Bill Volume 3, but at the same time, it's like, how would you do a Kill Bill Volume 3? Because Bill was killed at the end of Volume 2. That's the whole point of the two films.
What they can do is a kill Beatrix or kill the bride, because Vivica, in this movie, Vivica A. Fox's daughter witnesses her mom get killed. So
yeah. Like that's like the only thing. Otherwise, if they keep the Kill Bill title, it would make absolutely no sense. Because what is Bill rise from the dead to be killed again? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
For there to be exploded. A third one. How would he?
I know. I'm saying it wouldn't make any sense if they go with that title. I'm like the whole point of that title is her revenge mission on the man who wronged her, and we'll go into again how she was wronged and why she's going on a vengeance spree against her former comrades. I guess for one better way of putting it, my comrades and the ringleader of the
former
group.
Associates.
Yeah, I'm saying they're a squad essentially. They're and they're unsavory characters. Let's put it that way. So basically,
they're assassins.
Yeah, I'm saying it's it's like they're not people that you should feel sorry for necessarily when they bite the dust. Yeah, especially the bride's hands. All right, they're not ones that you necessarily feel sorry for. Maybe the only one, even though he's a greedy son of a bitch, that I would feel any sympathy for, would be the guy. Because he actually accepts his fate. Yeah, he actually accepts his fate, and it's she's going to kill us, and she deserves to do so, pretty much. So he accepts the fact that he's likely going to get killed. And he doesn't blame her.
That woman deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die. But then again, so does she. So
yeah, so I'm saying
he ain't going to make it easy for her. He's not going to make it easy.
I'm not saying he's.
But he does accept that. Yeah,
he accepts that she's coming for him.
And we'll discuss that in Volume 2 because that's where that happens.
Yeah. So let's see, Conroy and Jacob. Yeah, I'm a little late, but yeah. So that's my kick. There's kicking Twitch. So hello, my kill.
Hound. There ain't no way that Elle Driver survived in Kill Bill Volume 2. She's in a trailer flailing around with a black mamba.
Yeah. Hound. Hello, good to see you. And she's completely blind.
Yeah.
So it's not just flailing around, she literally cannot see at all.
Yeah, so
hello, Geek.
Eventually, she's gonna come across that snake.
Yeah. So it's basically the implication is she doesn't make it.
Yeah.
That's my Twitch. Yeah, I dual stream kicking Twitch. Making sure I say hello to everyone.
She deserved supper after what she did, so yeah.
Interesting that this first fight in the film is actually the second fight. Yeah, I'm saying it's like
Yeah.
that's why I put as the quote on the thumbnail: "Revenge is never a straight line," pretty much. So you see, like in this movie, it's a non-linear storytelling.
Yeah.
It starts actually with the second fight, and then goes back to the one she actually killed first, and that is Oshi Ren's, played by Lucy Liu,
Yeah.
who actually has a more comprehensive
Oren. Yeah.
backstory given versus Vivica A. Fox's character.
And I love how they give it in like anime form or slight anime anime form.
Mm-hmm.
Like Animatrix style anime.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the Animatrix, the cartoon versions of the Animatrix movies,
Hey, so
it's the same style.
yeah. So, and I love like I'm gonna kind of like take this back about 10 seconds. I like one thing I appreciate about Quentin Tarantino, whether you love him or hate him as a creative, I do like that he in this is like basically the like this is what you would see basically Grindhouse films. I remember the Grindhouse movies that came out years ago, which I thought of the two, it was Planet Terror and Death Proof, and of the two, I enjoyed Death Proof a lot more than Planet Terror. But this is like basically what you would see. And Grindhouse films are the, how do I put this? There's generally an A roll and a B roll type. There's like B film. There's A films and B films. B films are basically B roll level films, or it's like this is like we're just throwing this out for a quick buck. Pretty much, it's nothing nowhere near a level of like A roll films, but we're just gonna like toss it out there because it's entertaining. Grindhouse films are basically below B roll. Like they're literally the how do I put this? Equivalent of the Penny Dreadful novels back in like the 1700s and 1800s. Like it's like no civilized person typically watches Grindhouse type of films. So I'm not saying like I'm just saying like that's the level of films that they were. And Thanksgiving, the movie Thanksgiving that just came out recently, also is actually the result of a fake trailer we saw between the Grindhouse films released, and Machete was also based on a fake trailer. We got the Machete movies. We got the Machete movies. So there's one like overly like I would say positive thing that came out of the Planet Terror and Death Proof.
Yeah. I mean, I loved the first Machete movie and the second Machete movie, but then it's like I was hoping that they would eventually do Machete Kills or Kills Again, but the third one, but it's like, yeah, Danny Trejo's doing his taco thing now, so let him retire,
Yeah. I mean, he's living his life, running his restaurants and playing Animal Crossing. So
yeah,
let him live his life how he wants to live.
Yeah.
Maybe not Machete because there's not exactly any scenes that I can pause on.
No, there really isn't.
I like
not really any you could pause on in the second one either.
Yeah, so
I mean, maybe a couple here and there,
they're
but
few and far between for like me being able to pause on them on YouTube without risking yeeting my own channel.
Yeah, I mean, the first like 10 or 20 or the first like 5 to 10 minutes is nothing but a full-blown naked chick.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, so it's
who pulls a cell phone.
I'd be skipping a whole chunk at the beginning. It's like,
yeah, who pulls a cell phone out of herself, and it's like, the fuck, man.
So, but anyway, like I said, I appreciate the basically the grindhouse aspect at the beginning of the film. So it's not exactly setting up the quality of the film, but it's more like an homage to the films from like particularly the 70s. Like where you see like a lot of the grindhouse films, in terms of like this and inspiration.
Did you ever see the TV version of this movie, especially specifically the first one?
You know what? I can't remember if I did or not.
Because instead of the pussy wagon they call it the party wagon, and it really doesn't work in the scene where she comes out of the coma. And it's like, party wagon? You fucker. And then slams the door. It's like, well, that's not exactly something that she would get pissed off about.
No, she wouldn't. No.
Not party.
No, like that's.
But yeah,
I love when they do that crap, basically.
Because it's like, this is a Quentin Tarantino movie. Embrace it,
Yes.
TV. Just put it on late at night, you know? Don't edit that shit.
So well, I'm like, you don't really see much at the beginning. You like the cast.
I like how they did it black and white, though. I mean,
yeah, I
one
do.
Thing I can say, one thing I will say is that Quentin Tarantino did a good job with these two movies. When I watched what was his first one? Reservoir Dogs, and then there was also Pulp Fiction. I watched those two, and I'm like, weird, just fucking weird, man. He's this
eccentric.
One. This one it's more straightforward. It's understandable. It's more digestible. But I watched those two, and it's like, what the fuck?
This one is like, I think refined. He did is like it says homage to particularly martial arts films from like the 60s and 70s. Like her even her last her outfit at the end, basically the yellow suit, is an homage to what Bruce Lee wore in his last film.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is basically like, you know, like paying respect in a way to those film, like the 60s and 70s type of films, even with the Grindhouse opening.
Yeah. I mean, I love the House of Blue Leaves fight scenes, but this first one was absolutely brutal, and I loved it because it's like she is not holding back until some level of innocence enters the fray.
Yeah.
And
the only time she stops is when, and we'll get into this, when Fox's character's daughter returns home. It gives you the time of day, basically. It's after afternoon time frame.
Yeah. Coming home from school, it's like, what happened to the floor? Or what happened to you on the floor?
Yes.
Your dog came in and acted a damn fool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of play. I love like basically Fox opens the door and just
Yep. Seeing red.
Yes. Seeing red, remembering what happened, and like that whole it's like I wish I could play the sound because you all have heard the sound in other movies. All right, so I'm not like it's like it's from a while ago, like a long time ago.
Japanese video.
You've guaranteed.
It was in a Godzilla film. It was in a Godzilla film.
Yeah, like guaranteed you've heard the sound before. Same with one of the tracks in this film where you see Lucy Liu walking with Go-Go and it's I think it's called Killing Without Honor or Humanity or something like that. You hear that, guaranteed you've heard it in other films.
Yeah.
Right. But this one I love, like where like it immediately goes into this music back and forth. She's remembering what happens.
I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically, or you could definitely,
Yeah. So.
But that's the sound, folks.
Yeah. Boom.
Team America does or mock this.
It's an interesting pause I put there, basically, but it's like a really quick.
She knocked the face right off her.
Yeah. I love how I also appreciate again, it's like they're like whenever they talk, it's after they've fought, essentially.
Yeah.
Like when the innocence has entered the picture. This fight, it's like he doesn't even bother even asking her, "Do you know why I'm here?" Doesn't even bother saying anything, just punches her.
Yep. It's like there ain't no words that need to be spoken right now.
Yeah.
She knows why she's there, so does she. And it's like, okay, I'm not gonna let you just kill me. I mean, you have every right to be pissed, but yeah, we'll talk about that shit later.
So, and this, I again wish I could play because the whole scene
is
because like
brutal.
both demonstrate themselves as capable fighters.
Yep.
They're
I
not,
love her
and again,
dagger.
not Mary Sue's, because you see right here that the bride has basically just been thrown into a wall.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a thing that a lot of people are starting to get wrong these days. The Mary Sue thing. Mary Sue's folks they haven't earned their badassery yet. They're basically perfect characters that don't seem to fail. Have powers that they haven't earned. There's no way that they could have known. I mean, to give it a good, or to give the quintessential example of a Mary Sue would be Rey from Star Wars. But this bride, the fucking beginning of the movie basically told you she's not a Mary Sue. She just got she had her head fucking shot. She's getting her ass kicked here, or fighting this woman, and she gets cut up too. So yeah, she screws up. She lets her guard down a little bit, and what it comes down to for her is who wants it more.
This is like essentially all like boils down to where it's like, again, even when they are having their conversation in the kitchen a little bit later, after the fight, when the daughter has returned home, it's even like Fox here, like her she's going by a pseudonym basically because the bride is narrating this film.
Yep.
So she the bride knows her as Vernita Green. Like right now she's going under the pseudonym. I can't remember the first name, but like last name is Bell because Green is married to a doctor. Yeah. Green has a daughter, and Vernita goes by the code name Copperhead.
Yeah. She's pissed off that she wasn't called Black Mamba.
Which is, I would say, that's a little too on the nose, don't you think? It's
it's like, I should have been motherfucking Black Mamba.
Yes.
So, but I also do like how that line triggers a foreshadow. Weapon of choice, be my guest, or if you want to stick with your knife, that's fine with me. I mean, she's basically saying, I mean, if you want to try to use a Black Mamba, sure, but...
yeah.
Which comes to fucking play in that too. So
like whatever, basically it's one of those again situations where it's like it's no, there's no real line dropped, no real scene set up, or it doesn't have any payoff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there is one thing that I do like in this line. She's like, or when she's like, I know I don't deserve your remorse or your sympathy, but I do beseech you on behalf of my daughter. She tries saying it's like, I'm a different person, and it's like, you can stop right there. You have every right to get even. The writing in this scene, in this entire movie, really, is masterclass. I mean, that's hard to say with Quentin Tarantino, given his first couple movies that I've seen of his. But this movie has great writing because she's like, no. For me to get even, I'd have to kill you, go up to your daughter's room, kill her, wait for your husband to come home, and then kill him. That would be getting even.
Yeah.
I'm here simply just to kill you. And then also...
well, she also tells her, it's like, just because I'm not going to kill you in front of your daughter, it doesn't mean you can... and that you can use her as like a shield.
Yeah, I'm not sympathetic to you. You're going to die either today or tonight, or whenever you want to die. And I do love it. It's like, and not a goddamn fucking thing you done in the subsequent 4 years, including getting knocked up, is going to change that. I love it. It's just fucking awesome, man. I haven't seen Django Unchained or Unchained Trey, but I do plan on seeing it soon, though.
Yeah.
I actually do plan on seeing that sometime.
I remember enjoying it for what it was when I saw it, so you might like it.
Yeah,
is it
a Tarantino film?
Yeah, it's a Tarantino film, I believe. Yeah, it should be.
Of course it is.
Jamie Foxx and what's that actor's name? Basically, he's a brilliant actor. He's really good at playing villains. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, fuck! I just blanked on his Christopher Waltz.
Yes. But he's actually a good guy. He's actually a good guy, essentially, in this movie. So
yeah, it's what's his name's a bad guy, Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, he's an antagonist. So it's like it's one of them.
But also Samuel L. Jesus, how many movies is Samuel L. Jackson in Tarantino? Isn't he in all of Tarantino's fucking films?
Well, he's not in these.
Yeah, he is in the second one.
Oh yes.
Piano player.
But like not in this one. He's not in this one.
No.
He's in Pulp Fiction, and he's in Django Unchained and Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Also, fun thing, folks. The scene of where the Texas Ranger comes to look at the bride at the scene. He is the same, or he was playing a Texas Ranger in From Dusk Till Dawn. It's the same actor.
Yeah. So, which is
playing
film
the
that
same
Tarantino,
character, mind you.
Starred in also. So
yeah, playing the same character, mind you, even though he got his head blown off in From Dusk Till Dawn. So,
well, if we're gonna like play 6 Degrees, we could say this movie took place before From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, but he's older.
And I'm saying it's like it's like suspending disbelief, pretty much. So anyway,
much. I believe that's actually what somebody said in the commentary.
Yeah. I just want to like pause on the serial if I can.
Oh yeah. Go.
Because it's called
20 seconds.
Oh, I tried.
Seconds.
Oh, there it is. Well,
yeah.
There it is.
There you go. Oh my God! If that is not a fucking clue.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's like it's like I don't know how many people noticed that when they first saw this movie, but look at the name of the serial. It's called Kaboom.
Yeah. She's hiding. I'm guessing like a 20 or no, it wouldn't be a 25. Not with the sound that sucker gave off. I'd be like a 45, but it would be like a very compact 45.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or 30. I mean,
I love like that's on the nose as well as her saying like right here. She's calling her Black Mamba. It's like I should have been like motherfucking Black Mamba. Like that's also on the nose. That'd also be on the nose because she's again like as Trey pointed out and I pointed out earlier. Like Copperhead really does not have like any more of a backstory other than what we hear about in this conversation, where it's Bill considers her one of the best he's seen with knife work.
Edged weapon.
She's very good. Yeah, she's like very good with edged weapons. And that's about it as far as her like basically as an assassin in Bill's group, because since the incident, she's since married and had a child and adopted a pseudonym. That's all we know about this character. The only one that has any depth in terms of a backstory is Lucy Liu's character, who incidentally is right now at this point already dead because it's starting present day and then going back to the past.
Yeah. And I like that. This movie continues to jump all over, but then ends up just before this one dies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically a movie that kind of goes in a weird loop-de-loop circle kind of thing.
Yeah. So,
we just know that she was at the bride's betrayal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But should have canned that blasphemy in the house of worship, boy.
Yeah. The cleanliness of the carnage. Better shit can
that's the share. This is like really the only scene we see the law in. It's like the aftermath of what happened. It's essentially what happened. And we find out more in detail in volume 2 what exactly was going on with the bride's character, like why she's called we know why she's called the bride in the first movie, but she like her entire wedding party, the preacher, the preacher's wife, the organist, they're all massacred in this church.
And funny thing in this movie, every time somebody says her name, they bleep it out. Because they just want her to be known as the bride in the first movie.
Mm-hmm. Technically, we do hear part of her name at the beginning of the movie, but it's one of those double entendre, not double entendre, but the double meaning kind of thing, because Bill calls her Kiddo.
Yep.
At the beginning of the film, but Kiddo is basically could be like a term of endearment. Like he like looks at her as like a daughter.
My uncle called me Kiddo.
Yeah, which makes it weird. I'm saying like basically in terms of endearment, basically, But which makes it weird because that scene ends with her telling Bill, the baby's yours.
It's your baby. Boom. Now, put yourself in that situation, folks. You're holding the revolver down to her or pointing at her head, but the second she says it's your baby, she doesn't even get the first or the last word out when he pulls the trigger. So it means that he reacted minutely enough to divert his shot.
Yeah.
So it's like, at least she managed to save at least part of her skull.
Yeah. Because I love when they realize that like she's still alive, because like her body does one of those like reflexes and she ends up like spinning on the sheriff.
Yeah.
He's like this one's still alive.
This cocksucking bitch ain't dead.
But everyone else is, as I said, basically the preacher, the preacher's wife, even the organist. I'm not going to say with the line because it's like this, implying that these individuals, I wouldn't necessarily call them racist, but they use a term that, I'm saying like,
no, they say colored fella.
Yeah,
it's colored.
So,
that ain't racist at all.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's not racist, but at the same time, it's like.
Well, they can't remember his name, so they just called him the fucking colored.
Well, they could have
that
called
blind
him
colored.
I'm just saying they could have called him. I would say the organist.
Yeah.
Even that man who plays the organ, but he says colored fella. So it's a little bit towing the line, in my opinion. Again, it's I'm not saying not.
Texas was one of the last, or Texas was, I believe, the last slave owning state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's forgivable. It's forgivable.
I'm saying, like, again, I'm not holding it against, not holding them against.
I know.
Basically, so
I'm just explaining a little bit of history for it.
But like, this is the aftermath. But we see more of this because this movie is really just
all around
the beginning of her vengeance tour.
Yeah,
it's really just the beginning of her vengeance tour, and we find out why she's getting married in the first place in the second movie. Yeah, we only hear Bill's voice the entire movie, and rest in peace.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a way to go. Remember how he went?
Yeah.
So not too many people can say.
The second doesn't even show the massacre. The second just shows what leads up to the massacre.
Yeah, it leads to the massacre.
What leads up to it. Because we see him go in, we just don't see what happens.
Yeah, we see essentially the massacre happen in the first movie, but we don't know the circumstances leading up to the massacre. Second one is we see the events that lead up to the massacre and why the bride. We'll keep calling her the bride because if you have not seen the movie, I don't want to exactly give her real name, and so you don't hear it in the first movie.
Yeah,
we see why she's in that situation, and then it's okay. We see the squad enter. So we already know what happened. We don't need to necessarily see it again.
Yeah. I mean, we hear what goes on. We just don't see it and such. Yeah. And then we understand why Bill did what he did after. I mean, at the penultimate of the last film. So we'll get to that later. But yeah, she's in a coma. I don't understand how she knows it's 4 years by looking at her fucking hands. But I also love this scene too, where she's whistling "Twisted Nerve" because, well, this woman is fucking twisted.
Yes, that is. The actress is Daryl Hannah.
Yep.
The character's name is Elle Driver. Her code name is California Mountain Snake.
Yep.
So, and she's essentially, and I love, again, this is the only scene we see Daryl Hannah in. We really see her in this, other than the massacre scenes. Yeah. This is really the only other scene we see her in, because I don't count necessarily the massacre scenes because we don't really see her. We see her causing the massacre, but this is where we get really feel for her character.
Yeah,
and she's going there to kill the bride.
Yeah.
And I love how she stopped. I love how it's like she stopped because like
Bill told her
stops her.
to. Yeah.
Bill told her to.
And she's now Bill's squeeze.
Yeah.
The bride was Bill's squeeze originally. She's now Bill's squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that there is a lot of animosity due to the fact that Bill or that she's always been jealous.
Well, she even says when she's staring down at the
always
bride
hated you.
on her bed, you know, it's like I've even despised you. But don't let basically don't assume that doesn't mean I didn't respect you.
Yeah.
As she's about to
Kill her in her
kill
sleep.
the bride in her sleep. And like then the reason why Bill stops her, it's like, you know, it's like no, like she's not going to go out that way.
We're not going to sneak in like a rat or poison her in her sleep.
So yeah, she's not.
But he also puts her mind at ease. It's like if she wakes up, we're going to do a whole lot more.
Yeah, just we're essentially going to give her a fighting chance. Essentially,
yeah.
Like we're still going to kill her. We're not going to let her come for us. We're still going to kill her if she tries to, but we're not going to do it this way. We're not going to do it this way. Yeah, she's salty that Bill stops her, and I love how like Daryl Hannah's performance, like you know, like she's like cursing on the phone in this hospital room.
Oh, you don't know her shit. Keep your voice down. It's like keep your voice down. You don't know her shit.
Yes.
Like I don't, but I'm giving it to her anyway.
Yes. No, I didn't. I did not try to rock the yellow and black suit after the film came out. But like I said, the yellow and black suit is an homage to the outfit Bruce Lee was wearing in his last film.
I think you could rock it.
I probably could. I'm only 5'2", so it would be. I don't think it would have the same impact as someone as tall as Uma Thurman. And there's a kind of like not a funny story with Uma Thurman, but my siblings and I, we were playing a game called Cranium. Basically, it's one of those games where it's you split into teams, and like we split into basically teams of two. There's my sister and me, and the two brothers on the other team, and it's you have like basically to ultimately win the game, you have to progress and do certain things. Like if you land on certain colored squares, one would be like a trivia knowledge square, other would be like creative, and so forth. All right, and one of the squares we landed on, I and my one brother on the other team had to get the other one on our team to say Uma Thurman. Basically, like the answer was Uma Thurman. So we had to give clues, like without exactly giving it away, so to speak. So we're trying to give clues, and eventually my sister was like, Uma Thurman, and I'm like, say it faster, Uma Thurman. So I'm like, what the fuck? I like just like it's
ooh,
Ma. She stressed it out. I'm like, say it faster. Because I'm like, you love this actress. Uma Thurman. What the fuck did you just say? She finally got it.
Yeah.
She finally got it. But I was like dumbfounded when she did that. And that's not even like the funniest story. I did tell like another one later on. But anyway, so. But like I was like basically it was around the time I think that the Kill Bill movies were still very popular. So I'm like she should know this actress. She she should be able to get this answer. So yeah. But anyway, so like this is really, other than the massacre scene, this is the only scene that we see Daryl Hannah's character in. Like we'll really talk about her character in the second movie, because that's where you really get a taste of just how psychopathic this woman is. Because there's a character we're introduced to in the second movie, which is an explanation for pretty much the skills Uma Thurman's character exhibits in this first movie.
Yeah.
Yes, the real mermaid, yes. Red Cross eye patch, yeah. So, but yeah, and so forth. Her and Bud will really like talk about, because we only really see Bud pretty much at the end of this movie. Like I said, he's accepted his fate, but he's not going to go down without a fight necessarily. At least in his mind, he's not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, somehow she knows it's 4 years later.
Yeah, she reads it off her fingers.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
Neither do I.
Maybe I could talk to my brother who's a doctor. Oh, and like we're gonna like again it's we're not exactly going to go over everything, but this sicko allows guys to come in and basically have sex with comatose patients.
Yeah,
essentially raping them.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
So his name is Buck. He has the word "fuck" tattooed on his fingers.
Yeah,
and he drives he drives a bright ass yellow truck with "pussy wagon" in pink painted on the tailgate. Hold on, on the phone.
But yeah, while she's on the phone, I shall keep you all entertained. Was he the rogue captain in The Rock 2? No, he was not.
I'll be right back. I had to take care of something, but I'll be back shortly. Talk about Buck, the pussy wagon.
Yeah, and I absolutely love how this guy sets it up, because it allows you all to really understand that this man is scum. It gives you a complete and full reason to want this man to die. So when he comes in and sees what happened to the guy that paid for his business, it's like, whoa. And then he gets the back of his Achilles tendon slashed. So yeah, that he ain't walking on that foot anymore. And then he just, oh my gosh, he completely earns his brutality, because she is able to address what happens, or what happened to her due to comatose memory. I mean, some people don't have memories after being in a coma for so long. I had a friend who who was in a coma. She didn't remember a lot. There are some things she still doesn't remember, but there are things she does remember, and yes, Sarah Connor did the same in T2. It's better told in the special edition, where that guy, or who she busted up and put in her room, he abused her in her cell. Not the same way as these people, but he actually was physically brutal with her. But yeah, yes, tendon cutting in films is very hard to watch. Yes, it is, Soul Assassin, because I tell you right now, man. Oh, Michael Bowen, found him. Yeah, all right. He's in Breaking Bad. Okay, never heard him. But yeah, this dude, it's like, holy crap. He's also in Walking Tall. That's cool. But then it's like, yo, stud, time's up, buddy. And these kind of people give orderlies like a bad name, because there are people who do get rather exploitative, I believe the word is, or exploitive in their roles as nurses and orderlies. So yeah, I won't go into detail, but I have witnessed that kind of abuse, and that situation is resolved. Don't worry. But yeah, this dude deserved everything he got because of what he was doing with Beatrix and to Beatrix. And it's like, or the bride, sorry. I mean, if you can read lips in this, folks, that ain't too much of a spoiler. But yes, this whole scene, then she goes in and is like, wiggle your big toe. She has to basically will her feet or her limbs out of entropy, as she says. And we learn about Oren Ishii. But yeah. So how's everybody in the chat doing? Seems to have fallen silent as I go on and tell you all sorts of weird shit. He took pop culture title of Nasty Orderly after the dude in T2 harassing Hamilton. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, so they didn't cancel the Penguin. I'm also checking up on other stuff too. Watching Alien 3 in the background. You should watch the special edition. It's almost like watching a different movie. I have both versions. Because the special edition has it's not a dog that got face hugged. It's a cow. So yeah. That's the one Oh, you're watching a special edition, Trey. Nice, man. We own both Kill Bills. Mikey Susie 4. Nice. Cool. I mean, honestly, I do think that they could pull off a To Kill a Bride, or I would call it To Kill a Bride. You know, To Kill a Bride, because this woman, or the girl, Nikia, from earlier in the film, finding her mom dead, I mean, it's just so unresolved, you know? And now the woman is old enough, so it's like, or the girl who played her, it's like fucking 10 or 20 years later, so it's like, well, maybe she decided to learn the art of combat, and so she could try to go after her, you know? The only thing I like about A3 was the Appleseed land suit version of Mercenary Guards. Yeah. Skipping the fake shit crow. Yeah, I ain't touching that movie, Mike Hill.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, which one? This one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey. Yeah. There's Book who likes to fuck. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking the first. For those who are just joining in, we're talking the first movie. Next week we'll be talking Volume 2. So I don't know if YouTube will exactly like.
Oh, I've covered essentially all of this stuff. Yeah, there you go.
So when she sees the name, and I love her reaction.
Yeah. She just looks at it.
She's like, been in a coma for 4 years and hasn't been using the muscles in her legs. She literally has to mentally, in the basically the back of the truck, mentally motivate her legs to work.
Yeah.
By starting with you will wiggle your little toe. You're starting with your toes and working up to the basically to the legs so she can actually walk.
Yeah.
Basically, it's what's it called? Muscle dystrophy or something where you
atrophy.
Atrophy. Where it's if you don't use them for a long period of time, you're essentially immobilized.
Yeah.
And that's the truck she has to use. That's the truck she has to use, which pisses her off even more, even though she's already killed Buck.
Yeah.
So, actually, this would be well before the Vivica fight because Rand is her first victim, and she's just coming out of the coma now. So basically, this It started with the second fight, gone back to basically like kind of showing what happened or the aftermath of what happened, her being in a coma, and then progressing forward.
Yeah.
With her revenge tour, as I call it, where when she takes out Lucy Liu's character first, because you see her when she gets back into the pussy wagon, she crosses Copperhead's name off the list, and you see above Copperhead, Oshi Ren, already crossed out.
Ren Ishii.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Ren
Ishii.
Sorry. Yeah. Ren Ishii, basically Lucy Liu's character.
Ren.
Or I'll call her Cottonmouth, basically, because that's her code name is Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
That name is already crossed out. So. Well, yeah. Of the two in this movie, she is definitely the strongest. She in terms of. Oh, she's a straight up psychopath.
Yeah,
you don't exactly blame her, and it's given what she experienced. But she's a straight up psychopath. And of the two fighters, she's the best one. So you take out the best one first. Yeah. The one that would give you the biggest challenge.
Yep.
You take out,
and that's actually a good idea. It's because here's the thing, because as she tells what's her name, the Star Trek villain that she calls her, it's I want them to know that I'm coming for them, and I want them to know that I want them to know.
Yeah, I literally just we'll get to it. Basically, it's that's her lawyer, basically, and I again wish I could see So that's Viper Assassination Squad.
Yeah.
Come on, show the code name Cottonmouth. All right, so.
Yeah.
I wish.
You ever get Cottonmouth in your sleep?
Say, she basically this goes animation style in the flashback, and I can kind of understand given what happens in the movie in this character's background. Probably a good idea that it's anime style or animation style.
Yeah.
But this character, first, accordingly, as the bride is laying it out for the audience, acquaintance with death was at the age of 9 when she literally witnesses her parents be killed.
By Yakuzas.
Yeah.
Which...
Yakuza, if you don't know, is the Japanese mafia.
And they are some twisted fucks, folks.
Oh, yeah.
You fuck up, you lose a finger. And you're the one who cuts it off.
You'd be lucky just to lose a finger. You'd be lucky just to lose a finger.
Depending on how much you fuck off.
Yeah.
Depending on how bad you screw up. Or they're a self-mutilating mob.
Yeah.
With a fetish for tattoos.
Yes. The act like Sonny Chiba is in this movie, Gordon Liu.
Oh, yeah.
The fight with the Crazy 88s, basically. So, it shows her parents dying in a much more dramatic fashion as a cartoon. It kind of does, and then goes into the aesthetic of what Tarantino was going for in this film. Like I said, the homage to the 60s and 70s films, and so she witnesses her parents be killed at age of 9. But she herself kills her first victim, which is the man who orchestrated the death of her parents at age 11. Because quote unquote, thankfully, this old perv is a PDF. So she takes full advantage of that. Another element about her character, which kind of just ties into how she leads the Yakuza, because eventually she takes over the Japanese mafia by basically eliminating her rivals and becoming head of a council, essentially. And her character is actually half Chinese, half Japanese. Basically she's a half Chinese, Japanese American.
American Army, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's and that's, for you all who don't know, the Yakuza see that as an abomination.
Yes, which is like what happens later on in the film, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
later on when we actually see her character, because she gets more, like way more of a backstory than Copperhead did.
Yeah.
All right, so, and this is again YouTube. I wish I could kind of play this because this is very,
Yeah.
it is graphic, but it's very well done.
Yeah.
So,
But we also learned some very dark shit too. Like the guy who kills her parents is a very disgusting individual that likes kids,
yeah,
and that's what she uses
Her-
to
yeah,
get to him. You know.
to get close to him, basically.
Yeah. And it's very bloody. I mean, I love that look there too. I mean, the under the bed, how she's very
Yeah, I'm trying to get
angry. Yeah, there you go.
So she's like basically just witnessed her
I
father.
would have
being
loved to
killed.
have seen her get vengeance on that guy too. You know.
Yeah.
I
The
mean, it's
mother-
like, this is the only time we see that guy, and it's like
Yeah.
I want to see what happens to him.
The mother is all like basically killed right after the father. The father put up a good fight. That's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
what I appreciated. Like they didn't just basically just cower. The father actually tried to
household.
defend his family. He like
Yeah.
he was putting up a good fight before this man here stabbed him in the back.
It's like, okay, show's over. No longer letting you kill our men. So
Yes, and then the mother is subsequently thrown onto the bed, and I
Skewered.
what I love about that scene is basically how close they show the sword was to
yeah,
Oren.
this close.
Yeah.
folks. This close.
So yeah, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Her mother's blood hits her. Yep, her mother's blood drips down on her face. I mean, this girl basically also is wielding a fucking 50 cal when she goes after this dude. I mean,
Yeah.
she kills the boss with a dagger, but when she goes under the bed to kill the his guards, she's using essentially a Desert Eagle, because there ain't no way that that any other weapon or any other pistol will blow off your limb.
mhm.
I mean, unless you have high velocity rounds, which
So
I mean, she could have. I don't know, but yeah, having a freaking like 10 or 11-year-old wielding a 50 cal is nuts in itself.
there's quite a bit of like homages in this movie to older films, basically.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like demonstrating Tarantino's love and appreciation for certain types of films.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like she's like, I'm not saying she's entirely I'm not saying I necessarily empathize or sympathize with her character, but I don't blame her necessarily for how she kind of turned out, because like how would her life have turned out if like this hadn't happened to her? This would kind of fuck with anyone who's gone into the situation.
her life culture is based on honor. If you slight that honor,
Yeah.
your life dictates that you right that wrong.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's not a psychopath. She's a straight up psychopath.
You got to be a little bit of a psychopath
Yeah.
to do what she does, because again, she has to essentially prostitute her body to get close to him.
Yeah.
And she's only I think 11 when she gets.
Her parents
Or
are killed at
what-
9, and she kills the man who ordered her parents' murder at the age of 11.
Yeah. And then she becomes a world-renowned assassin at like 16.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
this girl is essentially a prodigy of death.
Mhm.
It's like death's prodigy.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people can make the shot that she does in the cartoon background, where she literally puts a bullet through a dude at like 1,000 yards in a moving vehicle and still right between the eyes.
Yeah.
And I love that scene with Hattori Hanzo as well. Sonny
Yeah.
Chiba.
So this is like the
great.
other character that we see.
Because he's I love it. They're both pretending to be something they're not,
Mhm.
or he's trying to be something he's not.
He's
She's pretending to be something she's
Yeah.
not.
He's trying basically because he says, it's like he hasn't created a weapon, something that can kill
Something that kills people.
28 years.
Yeah.
So he's tried to distance himself from the life he used to live.
Yep.
She comes in pretending to be like a tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this character's Hattori Hanzo, and I'm not sure about Chinese or Korean culture, but I do know in Japanese culture, typically whenever you are like speaking someone's name, because family is so important, the family name is first.
Yeah.
Whether it's spoken or written down, the family name is first, and then the actual first name. So if we were basically, if this were basically our culture, his name would be Hanzo Hattori.
Yeah.
But this Japanese culture, so they refer to the family name first. And he is, Bill's old mentor.
Yep. And that's the thing. Also, behind the scenes stuff, I don't know if Mara's trivia touches on this. This isn't Hattori or just Hattori Hanzo. This is like Hattori Hanzo, like the 15th or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because Sonny Chiba's played the character of Hattori Hanzo before in a different era. So it's like his family line has lived for many years.
Yes, and the name is so well known.
Yeah. That
when the bride, during her final showdown with Cottonmouth, is saying it's like a Hattori Hanzo blade. It's like, you lie. Like that name resonates.
Mm-hmm.
And
I also I also do like the bit just before this. It's like, or who this friend of yours, what's his name? May I ask? Hattori Hanzo. Sudden silence, and then in the background you hear dishes break because it's like, what? Why are they looking for him? Yeah. Because it's like, okay, time to drop the facade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
it's such a great. I mean, this. As I said, folks, I'm critical of Tarantino's earlier works, but this is one of his best works because this whole scene is just done so damn well,
Yeah. And so we get and I also appreciate that we have an idea of how he says it's gonna take a month.
Yeah.
So it gives you an idea of basically the time span that this has taken place from the time that she wakes up from her coma, which somehow she knows it's been 4 years.
Yep. So.
Or somehow she knows it's been long enough that her daughter would be close to the same age as Copperhead's daughter. Yep. And I know they give us the time, but she somehow knows.
Yeah, she checks her hands and she's like, 4 years.
Yeah.
And I even looked that up when I was watching this, and it's like, can you read time off your palms? And it was just some weird Reddit shit. I fucking hate Reddit. Mm-hmm. I just, her fucking Reddit did me wrong one time, and it just completely turned me into anti-Reddit,
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't fucking care about that shit. Just give me a fucking straight answer. And it doesn't. So it's like, if you can freaking look it up, folks, can you read time passage off of your hands?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. By the way, the baseball being thrown and one of his blades cut in half. One
take, and it was actually done
Yeah.
by Uma Thurman stunt double. So it's not like that was anything in post-production effects or anything like that. No, that was actually done during that take. So when you see that baseball getting sliced in half by the blade, it's actually happening.
Yep.
That's how sharp that blade is.
I mean, those that's the thing, folks. A lot of people actually, they're like, or they, after this movie came out, they're like, can you cut a baseball in half? Can you cut a bullet in half? Can you cut this and that in half? Turns out with katanas, yes.
Japanese steel, yeah, you can.
Yeah, they had the skinny on precision sharpness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, the katana, a lot of Shadiversity. You know who Shadiversity is, yeah?
I have heard of him, yeah. So Shadiversity.
Yeah. He is like a swordsmith guru kind of page that tests all sorts of shit. I don't think he likes katanas very well, but honestly, look at how effective they have. It's like 1,000-year-old design that has succeeded all the way up to now.
I mean, how like it was more probably ornamental or for show, but they like even were using katanas World War II because our GIs would come home with katanas as souvenirs, so to speak. Which is incidentally how this I think it's like there's someone that my dad knew or something like that, but we were at a gun show and his beginning of collecting samurai swords stemmed from these military wives throwing out their husbands' katanas in the trash, basically, and he'd go around and take them from the trash and started collecting them, and it got to a point where he basically also began selling them.
Yeah. Folks, if we were not doing a live stream, I would actually go up and get one of mine because now YouTube has a rule that you cannot bring weapons onto your streams. So
they wouldn't like me showing my Urukai blade.
Yeah, you'd have to make it a video.
Yeah. So.
Or pre-recorded.
Yeah, because I have katanas and I have replicas from Lord of the Rings movies of swords.
Yeah.
So, but wouldn't be able to show it to you guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like you said, I do have a few katanas.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I like how he's like, why would I keep these for sentimental value for the aesthetic? Well, give me one. And she's like, I didn't say sell me. I said, give me. He's like, why would I help you? Because my vermin is a former student of yours. And considering the student, you have a rather large obligation. And he knows immediately who it is.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, I'm sympathetic. And the way that he says it, he's literally speaking in it's poetry in motion, essentially.
Yes. So he tells her you can stay up here. It's going to be a month.
Yeah.
Practice played. Yeah. So take this time to practice. So, again, an actual strong female character where you can believe some time has passed where we already know that given her association with these assassins that she's most likely very skilled herself.
Yeah.
2, now she's spent, we'd assume, every day practicing, waiting for this blade, as well as probably most likely practicing with the blades that we see there. Before she gets the blade specifically made for her by Hattori Hanzo.
Yeah. And I love how he says it. He's like, I can tell you with no ego that this is my finest work.
Yes.
And that's another reason why I like him, folks, because you know me, I'm pretty much anti-ego.
Yeah. Because
stay humble.
It's almost like a ceremony.
Yeah.
Of sorts when it happens in this place.
Yeah. And I also love how she takes the effort to cross out his name, but also the little bit of the B that was left open. So she really hates that motherfucker, even the simple spelling of his name. Such a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't play it all.
Yeah. So it's all about basically the ceremonial aspect, and this is he's created this perfect blade for the bride. Yeah, I'm saying I love basically we're given enough information that we can put the proverbial 2 and 2 together without getting a full-on exposition of why Hanzo hates Bill. We just know that, like, whether it's like, you know, basically like disappointment and like in seeing how his protege has turned out, anger, resentment, like, you know, it's like we know that he like
Bill did something essentially.
Yeah.
What my theory is, Bill became an assassin for hire, and he started an assassin league, and that is what I believe made Hattori Hanzo make his oath to never craft another sword again.
Which is like, you know, plausible.
Because he says, I did this for you because I'm sympathetic to your aim.
Yes, because we can, like, even with his body language when he writes the name, like, you could tell, like, you know, there was like at one point he had
respect,
like,
for the man.
at least respect for him, like maybe even like, you know, like kind of like a
but now it's
brotherly love or something like
shame.
that. Yeah, like
it's melancholy shame, so to speak. Because as soon as he does the dot of the eye, he drops his head, and it's like, I can't even look at the name.
Can't even look at the name. I would say, like, the way, like, I love how he, like, Chiba plays the scene where it's like, I think, like, to a degree he even blames himself. Like, I taught this man. I essentially provided him the skills to do this with, like, skills, weapons.
Yeah.
And I think,
he betrayed it.
He essentially, like, blames himself, and Bill betrayed that trust, that friendship.
Yeah. So. And another thing, folks, Japanese body language is very much different from American body language. If you know how to read Japanese body language, you understand everything that this person is going through. And I've been around Japanese people enough. I started to actually read certain mannerisms. This man as he's saying this, his heart is breaking at every moment. He is he's like, this is something that I have literally swore to God I would not do. And I have now betrayed that. This betrayal has become so much, or has such devastation, that I would break my own vow to help right this wrong. And he even says, should you encounter God on your journey, God will be cut.
Yes.
Because he essentially just took a blade to God due to his own oath being broken. And let me tell you, Japanese, when they say they're not going to do something, when they basically swear an oath, they mean that shit.
Yeah.
It's
honor
not to be
very
taken
important
lightly.
to the culture.
Yes.
Honor is extremely fucking important to the
Believe
culture.
me, folks, if a Japanese person says you have no honor, that is one of the greatest insults they give to you. It may not mean much to some people. To them, it means everything. You don't fucking break your morals. You don't you don't compromise your honor. Well, the whole Asian corridor, Trey, honestly, the whole Asian corridor is a very honor-driven society. Well, used to be a very honor-driven society. The Japanese are one of the last ones to really hold on to a true sense of honor. The Chinese just use honor for posterity. And the Koreans, they love to say things about honor, but they have none. Well, North Korea, anyway. Oh my God, Gogo is such a fucking sicko.
Yeah.
That girl is a serious sadist.
Okay. This is... I wish, again, I could show this scene.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Cottonmouth, Oren, has taken out all her rivals, and she is, like, basically the head of the table. Essentially like a female godfather.
Yep.
Japanese version of the Yakuza.
Yep. Boss of bosses.
Yeah, and there's one at this table that does not like it. He absolutely hates it, and the reason why he hates it is because she's not pure Japanese.
She's not the Don Trey Courtney. She's the godfather, or well, godmother in this case.
Mm-hmm. So,
was that Julie Dreyfus?
Yeah, well, not Julia Louise Dreyfus. You're thinking of like Seinfeld. See, she has the same name as Julie Dreyfus.
Oh shit, man!
Because like she's the woman standing to the left of Gogo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's a villain from Star Trek.
Dressed like a villain from Star Trek. Basically, she's her what? Was just her lawyer or something like that. Basically,
conciliary.
Half French, half Japanese. She's also Japanese. Not pure Japanese.
Yeah. It's fucking half breeds all around.
Yeah.
O-Ren is very inclusive.
Yes, and Gogo is 17. Already a psychopath.
Yeah, psychotic.
And a sadist. And there's Gordon Liu to O-Ren's right. And as I said, basically, with the exception of one gentleman at this table, the rest of them are ready to basically accept her, essentially more or less to save their own heads. Like, we're not gonna upset this woman is taking out all her rivals. She's the head of the table. We're not gonna say anything to upset her. So we're gonna basically accept the fact that we fall under her command, so to speak. But then this guy speaks up. This one schmuck speaks up, and basically brings up the reason why he's upset, and that is because she's Chinese, Japanese, American.
She's not pure.
Yeah,
she's not pure.
Which is, I love not only how she handles it, and basically makes all the rest of the men at the table piss themselves, because she's dressed in a kimono, and if you've ever worn a kimono or seen anyone walk in a kimono, they cannot take long steps. So she's shuffling down this table to this man. And in one swift movement, as she gets to him, cuts off his head.
Relieves him of his head. It's
yes.
And then she's to let you all know how serious I am, I'm about to tell you this shit in English.
Yes.
Which is an insult to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's
and Fatale,
I'm going to fucking insult you by telling you in no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. In no uncertain terms, this is a taboo. You break this taboo, this is the result. Yeah. I collect your fucking head.
Which I fully believe her, because she's in that same speech, she's telling them that it's if you want to try counsel my decisions, or at least if you have any issues, basically qualms, challenge them, essentially she'll be fine with it, which is what I believe, because she wants to hold on to her power, so she's going to take counsel.
Yeah.
Right? She's not
do so respectfully.
Yeah, but do so respectfully. Yeah. However, if you bring up my heritage in a negative way, she holds up this man's head, it's I'll cut off your fucking head.
Just like this fucker here.
Yes.
It's
which I love.
And then she tells him, it's if any of you have anything to say, now's the fucking time. I didn't think so. And then she just fucking drops the head.
Yes.
And while she cuts this dude's head off, they cut the Gogo to see her freaking sadistic smile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this girl, she just freaking hollowed out a guy in front of her for saying that he wanted to sleep with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She just hollows him out, cuts him open like it's nothing. And she took the greatest joy out of it.
There it is. That smile. That subtle smile. Gogo doesn't have a lot of lines, but she does have presence.
Yes. It's this girl is pretty
insane. She's a 17-year-old.
Her violence is essentially her way of having sex.
Yeah. She's a masochist.
No, sadist.
Well, remember, sadist. But
masochist is you take pleasure in harming yourself.
So.
Or allowing yourself to be harmed. Me? I was a masochist when I was in my teens, so I did a lot of shit when I was younger.
She's 17.
Yeah.
She's literally wearing a schoolgirl uniform, which is what I get a fucking kick out of.
Yeah, I know. She's basically like, I dare you to say you want to fuck me.
Yeah.
Because I'll penetrate you instead. It's no joke, folks. She is fucking nuts.
Yes.
And that Charlie Brown guy. I love that.
Oh, yeah. I just want to show the... this
Oh, right. Yeah.
is... I'm going to get a shot of the...
Yeah.
So the bride is following her. Let me see if I can get a shot of her standing in that yellow. That outfit, or because that's the one, like I said, that was inspired by what Bruce Lee wore in his final film.
Yeah.
And that final film is Game of Death from 1978. So, so you have to check that out. I generally I'm of the opinion that Bruce Lee's earlier films were better. I'm not saying it's like a bad movie or anything like that. It's just I think his earlier films are better. But it's the last film that Bruce Lee starred in. So that whole outfit is basically alluding to
Bruce Lee's coming.
Bruce Lee's. Yeah.
But my question is, how did she sense Beatrix just sitting outside of her door? You know? Because she doesn't portray any sort of hint that she's out there, but yet pull out a little dagger, whip it back, and it's like, go check.
So I do get the sense that if anything, at least initially, that Fatale knows that she's being followed, and that the person in the yellow jumpsuit is one to pay attention to.
Yeah. She doesn't, or she never had.
Plus, Fatale was also trained by Bill. She's also trained by Bill, so she does also have a certain set of skills, not to borrow the line necessarily from Taken, but she also has her own certain set of skills.
Well, she was also there in the church.
She was there. She comes to me as like more, like she was like at the massacre, but she's not an assassin. Yeah. She's trained by Bill, but she's not an assassin.
She's Oren's. She's not Bill's. She's Oren's. So essentially, when she was there for Oren to take care of her business as she was assuming power, essentially.
And her ringtone is Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah.
It's fucking ironic.
Which, I mean, that's the thing that basically triggers her to act against Sophie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you bitch, I'm gonna kill you now, and I'm gonna make it, or I'm gonna like torture you. And I love how the whole thing starts, because she calls out Oren. Oren sees who it is, and then she's like, now it's time to make a statement. And she just fucking cuts off Sophie's arm right there, man. I love it. It's like, this is, now she knows who's here. Now she knows she knows what's going to happen. It's time to make a shock statement, essentially. Yeah.
Right here. So I love this. Like the bride just because she's behind Fatale, and she just comes into view. It's like, remember me, Oren?
It's like, hello, bitch, I'm here.
Yeah, and just slices her arm off. Yeah, and somehow this woman does not pass out from blood loss. Because at some point, it's like after the fight, she says, any of you still have your lives, now's the time to walk away with them. Except you, Sophie. You stay right there.
Where you are. And Sophie looks up like, the fuck? No, I'm out. But it's like, how the fuck are you even still alive?
That's what I said. If she should have at the very fucking least passed out from blood loss. But at the same time, it's like
yeah. It's like, Oren sensed somebody. She didn't
Yeah.
sense. She didn't sense that it was Beatrix, but she sensed somebody was out there or
Yeah.
was watching her. Basically, that's like our sixth sense, which
Yeah.
we or humans innately have. We have that sense of being watched.
And that
We
fact
know
that
when
she was
we're-
a skilled assassin before she even really hit her 20s, then like also under Bill's tutelage, and I can picture that she would have like some sense that someone was after her,
Yeah.
not whom, like not knowing whom, but just that she's like someone's after her. I have to be on my guard.
Yep. And yes, Michael Susie, that was a good, or Mike Susie, that is a good one. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
And this leads into like the epic fight of the movie. Like the first fight was badass, but it was like contained, more contained. This one here,
Yeah.
she's taking on the Crazy 88s.
She takes
The
on like
entire fucking
88 of them.
like the entire fucking
You're telling me.
organization, basically under Oren.
Yeah. You're telling me she got through 88 bodyguards before she got to Oren? No, there wasn't 88 of them. They just called themselves
the
Crazy
Crazy
88. How come? I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds all right. I guess they thought it sounded cool.
Yeah.
Didn't do them much help, did it?
Which
But
I
there
wish
was a lot of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of them, and she held her own, including against Gogo. And her Gogo's weapon of choice is this
Freaking chain ball.
Yeah.
Ball and chain.
Which she's very
Marriage.
adept at. Which
Yeah,
is very
marriage.
adept at. Yeah.
That weapon's called marriage. Ball and chain.
So, but she I can't play the fight.
Yeah.
I cannot play the fight, and I love how I'm trying not to say the bride's name because it's not revealed until the second movie, so people haven't seen it. I don't want to reveal anything.
Oops.
But the bride kills Gogo
Yeah.
with again the bride's
Table
not
leg.
not perfect. She nearly died in this scene, but she
Choked
took an
out.
opportunity when she saw one, and that was a table that had broken, and a piece of the table had nails sticking out.
Yeah.
And that's and basically she kind of uses her foot to get it basically kick it up to her hand, so she can hit Gogo down around the foot, which is painful enough.
Yeah, that made me cringe.
Yeah, cause Gogo to kind of loosen her grip because she's in pain, and then whack against the head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it's like,
she
oh,
she got creative. She had to improvise because her sword was knocked out of her hand by Gogo, so she doesn't have her weapon. So she basically has to hold her own against this psychopath, wielding a ball and chain adeptly, and she basically kind of brains over Braun at this point. She used her saw an opportunity and used it.
mhm.
Then got her sword back and took on the rest of the Crazy 88s that were there.
Here's the thing, folks. The ball and chain bit usually is more Scorpion 2021 Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
It works more adeptly with a spear or a spear tip because that is a lot more it shows you that Gogo has a more brutal nature where she goes with a heavier weapon,
Mm-hmm.
but she wields it very effectively.
Yeah, I would say adeptly, pretty much. Where it's the weapon itself is not exactly easy to use, but she is very good at using it.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of the fight is, at least with the Crazy 88s, is actually around the end
Mm-hmm.
when it's. Let me see if I can get a shot. When it's I wish I could show the fight. There's a lot of them. It's a very good fight. It goes to black and white.
Yeah.
She's holding her own against Gordon Liu and the rest of them. I love this.
Oh
shot
yeah,
here.
this dude. Yeah.
But this dude
It's a
is
fucking
he's
kid.
ended up being the last one.
Yep.
And it goes, and the light turns on, and she sees how young he is, and how scared he is. So she takes his sword and cuts a piece off of his sword, then cuts another piece off of his sword, and then basically bends him over her knee and spanks him with her sword. This is what you get for messing with the Yakuza. Go back to your mother. She's just kicks him out.
I love it. It's this is what you get for fucking around with Yakuza. Now get out of here. You fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
I love what Trey says. She becomes a mom.
Yeah.
She becomes a mom in this scene.
Yeah.
But she doesn't kill him. She sees how young he is, and she spanks him.
Yep. And then we get like a true freaking samurai showdown, a true Bushido showdown, man.
And I love the setting.
Yeah.
Because it's there's snow on the ground, and it like perfectly it's like the juxtaposition of the snow and the blood red.
Mm-hmm.
Which I appreciate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like like she says, "Go home to your mother," and just like kicks him out of the room and he's like running down the stairs, and that's when she comes out and says, "If any of you still have your lives, now's the time to walk away. Walk away with them, except you, Sophie."
Yeah, she has plans for that one.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Trey. This is the final showdown with O-Ren, and we know from the beginning of the movie that O-Ren is not going to make it, but it doesn't make this fight any less epic. This last showdown any less epic, because, like I said, O-Ren, of the two that we see the bride fight in this movie, O-Ren is the best one.
Yep, she is the most skilled.
Yes, she is the best
hence
one.
Why she gives her, or hence why she is given an origin story.
Yes. Not to say that Copperhead was not a skilled fighter. O-Ren
had the best chance of killing her.
Yeah.
In an honorable fashion.
Yes. Let's leave your limbs here. I think these characters in homage to Lady. It might have been like there was a lot of like I said, allusions, homages to certain other pieces of work in this film. Like you can see the inspiration for Quentin Tarantino with like the color choices, the clothing choices, the settings.
It's all on purpose.
Yeah.
Intentional.
Mm-hmm. So, Daryl Hannah fight and her fight makes a good secondary fight in Bud's trailer. Yeah, I'm saying like again, and there's a reason why Daryl Hannah can put up a fight. Mm-hmm. Essentially, there's a reason why, but we're going to go into that in the second movie because you really see why in the second movie. Yeah. But even then, I would like to say if Daryl Hannah hadn't, if her character hadn't done what she did. O-Ren would still be the best fighter of all four that the bride is going after, excluding Bill. O-Ren is the best fighter. Mm-hmm. So again, take out the opponent that has the best chance of taking you out first.
Yep.
Which is what the bride does.
And that will shake the rest of the tree.
Yes. So apparently that line during spanking was inspired by a Yojimbo film, which I believe. One of my favorite actors is, which again, according to SJWs, I cannot relate to or like because this actor obviously does not look like me, and that's Toshiro Mifune. He's one of my favorite Japanese actors. If you've seen, I believe it's in Rashomon, Seven Samurai. He was the best part of Seven Samurai, in my opinion.
I'll have to check it out.
He is in my opinion, a very good actor. It's basically you'll see him in like Akira Kurosawa films, not all of them, but Akira Kurosawa films, and he has range, but he plays crazy extremely fucking well. And when I say crazy, I don't necessarily mean psychopathic. I mean like a level of eccentricity to his character that's believable, memorable, and
so he plays crazy,
entertaining. Yes.
Yeah.
He can. Not all the time, but he can.
Yeah, he plays crazy, not crazy.
Yes. So
all depends on how you say it. If you watch
Seven Samurai, you'll get what when I mean he plays crazy very well. Because that is an aspect to his character, which what makes him, as like I said, in my opinion, the best part of Seven Samurai. He's been in a lot. I had to look up his entire filmography, but he was in quite a lot of films. Which again, you look him up. He's obviously a Japanese male actor, and I can't say that I respect him or even relate to that that actor because I'm a white female. So, according to SJWs, I can only relate to characters like the bride here because she, other than like the fact that she's a blonde and I'm a brunette, we look essentially alike in terms of skin color. So I can only relate to the bride. I can't like Lucy Liu's character here, O-Ren. I can't even say I like Hattori Hanzo, that character. I can't say I like Sonny Chiba's character.
According to them, anyway. Folks.
According to them, I can't like Gordon Liu.
Well, according to the Mary Sue, if you don't like the Acolyte, you're not even a woman. If you're a woman and didn't like the Acolyte, you're a man. Yeah. I covered that earlier today. It's like they are misgender. That is just extreme bigotry, man. But yeah, this fight here. One of the parts I love about it is where they're getting closer as their swords are getting closer to touch. You hear the metal ringing against each other, and then it's almost like magnets,
Yeah.
It's almost like a visual representation of their
Again, I wish I could play this fight. O-Ren nearly kills her.
Yeah. Gets a good slash across the back.
And I love how she apologizes for making fun of her sword.
After she makes a fun of her, actually. She's like, silly Caucasian girl wants to play with samurai swords. You may not fight like samurai, but you can certainly die like one. And, well, then she gets cut in her leg. And then it's like, okay.
And it's a little graphic how, like, she's scalped.
Yep. She's scalped.
So again,
she
can't really show it.
Engine.
Yeah, can't really show because I'm not sure exactly how YouTube will react if I show anything like that. But this is basically this is actually the first fight shown second. Mm-hmm. So after this, basically, kind of like moves to present day, where she's taking out Copperhead. And I love the fact also that Bride does not come out unscathed. She's also injured. She's bloodied.
Yep. And she takes
nearly killed
Sophie. Yeah. She takes Sophie and throws her down a fucking hill to the hospital. Because she wants her to live. She's like, and I love she's like, if you had to guess, I didn't have to guess, she informed me. She said I can keep my wicked life for 2 reasons. And then she's like, as I said before, I've allowed you to keep your wicked life. It's like it's one of those funny moments that you're exaggerating the lines. You think she's exaggerating the lines, but that's because she actually said the fucking lines. Yeah. It's hilarious.
So, like I said, she was nearly killed by O-Ren. She's also nearly killed by Gogo.
Yeah.
She was injured repeatedly by the Crazy 88s because she's like trying to fight off dozens of them. Looks like there's quite a number of Crazy 88s that she has to hold.
She got hit, punched, contact hits. I don't think she ever got cut once by the Crazy 88.
Yeah. So. But yeah, and then let's see the shot of you said she crosses her name off.
Yep.
Okay, here's the scene.
Like, holy shit, man.
Just opens the trunk.
Picks her up and just fucking throws her. I mean, that's brutal in itself, really.
Yeah.
I'll drag you out, and it's like, go fuck yourself. Now go and get healed. So you could tell Bill what I told you to tell him.
Yeah, basically Sophie is essentially kept alive so she can be the messenger.
Yeah. You don't kill the messenger, folks.
No. Because the Bride wants them to know she's coming for them.
Yeah. And then we get the huge drop by Bill. It's like, one last thing. Does she know her daughter's still alive?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit. And then you also get them, yeah.
Yeah,
I love that line. Yep.
Yeah, because she's writing a list. You see Bud. Like I said, Bud is of the four. Not that he's going to just just allow her to kill him, but he's accepted the fact that she is coming for him, and he's like, this woman deserves to to come for us.
Yeah, We deserve, or she deserves her revenge. We deserve to die.
Yeah.
But
So-
I love the second part of it, which is in the second movie.
Yeah. So then, we get snippets, we get taste
Yeah.
of like the other two members.
Yep.
Daryl Hannah, Elle Driver, California Mountain Snake,
Yeah.
and Bud
Sidewinder.
Sidewinder.
Yeah. And
In this movie, but you really
don't
see it in
really-
the second movie. So
yeah. And the wonderful thing I like is that they label all of them with different snakes. But when this movie came out and I was watching it, I'm in the theaters watching the second part of it, and it's like, what would they call Bill? I'm guessing they would call him Snake Charmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then they run the credits where they run Bill, and it's like Snake Charmer. And I'm like, son of a bitch, I called it.
yeah. Well, it makes sense because he's the head,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. I mean, I'd call him, or he could have been called fucking King Cobra for all you know.
So
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
love that.
that is pretty much the end of the first Kill Bill movie, and then again we see more of what leads up to the massacre in the church in the second movie.
Yep.
We see more of Bud, we see more of Elle Driver, and then with the culmination of basically literally the title of the movie, Kill Bill. And we find, like you said, at the end where we hear Bill's voice saying, does she know that her daughter's still alive?
And then we see the way that Sophie reacts, and it's like, something tells me that this is important information.
Yeah. So something basically you see the way she reacts, something without saying anything, something tells me that now the bride most likely knows or has an inkling, because it looks like Sophie might have talked.
No, that's what we might think.
I'm saying at
definitely.
the end of this movie,
yeah.
that's what we're led to believe. We're looking at her body language, like Sophie might have talked. She's she's reacting in a way that does she know? Does she know? And then we find out, in volume 2,
Yeah.
what, what she actually knows. So,
Does she know,
yeah.
doesn't she?
but there it is, chat. That is Kill Bill Volume 1. Basically, the theme for this month is actual strong female leads. We'll be talking Volume 2 next week for the 1s and 2s, and then tomorrow is G.I. Jane.
Mm-hmm.
And the next movie for the singles is The Quick and the Dead. So, which both of them I have to watch because it's been a long time since I've seen either one of them.
Yep.
Like I said, I said at the beginning of the stream, there was talk, but I'm wondering, one, it can't be the same title because it makes absolutely no sense given the climax of the second movie. So it'd have to be a different title.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a different title. So conceivably, there are avenues they could take for a third movie, but it can't be Kill Bill Volume 3 because, spoiler alert, Bill doesn't make it. So unless they resurrect him just to kill him again,
Yep.
it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, there's no reason to. I mean, at that point, that it's a simple, or you're just going cash grab.
Yeah. So I think what I believe is it should just be 2 volumes. The story is done. As far as I'm concerned, the story is done. We can have our own little headcanon of what could possibly conceivably happen in the future. You pointed out the daughter of Copperhead's daughter basically seeks vengeance against the bride because she witnessed the bride kill her mother.
Yeah.
Anything is anything possible given the characters that we're introduced to in these 2 movies. However, it's not necessary. Just do it as your own headcanon. Moving forward, it's kind of the same with Boondock Saints movies. Now, the third movie is basically officially in the works, as far as I know, still in the works. And I'm it's been so long that
It's not needed, but hey, it's appreciated.
I'm on the fence about that because Troy Duffy
is not attached
to this, the third movie. So I'm on the fence for that reason. And 2, it's been in pre-production, well, not pre-production, basically creative hell for like ever since the second movie. There's been at least 16 years,
Mm,
and I'm like
18
I think
almost.
yeah. So I'm like, so I'm looking at this. So I'm looking at this going, like now it's like I don't want it to happen. Again, I just want some headcanon, pretty much. Because whom would they go after? Both stories centered on a certain crime family name. You had the addition of a man the father knew in the second movie, but even then it's still centered on the same crime family. So it's like, what would you do?
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, like, who would they? I know the Boondock Saints aren't exactly.
it's as he said, we're going to take this thing to a whole new level.
I know. So my thought is, we'll like wrap this up basically. With thought, like one of my thoughts is like possibly vigilante groups spring up in cities all across the United States, inspired by the Boondock Saints.
Yep.
As a possibility, as part of the plot. I'm not saying it's the entire plot, but as part of the plot. When they go to a whole new level,
Yeah.
you have like a bunch of vigilantes running around.
We're going like international, folks.
Yeah. So, yeah, like for me, Kill Bill is done. Kill Bill is done. Like,
yeah. With the number 2.
Yeah,
it's
with
resolved.
2. Yes. Because it's literally the end goal is the title. And she reaches that end goal in volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't, to me, a third one's not needed, in my opinion.
Nope.
But there it is, chat. Yeah, so we'll be discussing volume 2 next week. So you have until next Wednesday to watch the second one if you have not watched one. If you have not watched it or watched it in a while and you need a refresher, you have until next week.
Yep.
Yes, if one thing's for certain, if it sucks, you'll definitely hear it from me because I love the first 2 Boondock Saints movies, and as much as
me and her would be discussing.
Yeah, so it's like I don't want to say downgrade as in like it's a complete downgrade from the first to the second movie, but I know the second movie's not as well received or liked as the first movie, but I did enjoy the second movie. However, again,
first one's gritty, second one's refined.
Yes. And I prefer the grittiness of the first one. I do enjoy the second one. I do enjoy the second one. But a third movie,
special
like
edition
you really have to be on your A game.
Yeah.
Because if it sucks, I'll go on Twitter and say, "What the actual fuck is this?"
Yeah, it's like rage, Mara. Rage.
So, and I'm already
she would rage so much that Raging Rhino would feel it.
Hell, I'm gonna be already raging this month because in 8 days, a certain fucking season 2 of a certain show that I despise drops, and I'll be watching and giving my thoughts on that. When I say watching, I mean watching a special copy, so Amazon doesn't get any clicks.
Oh, and I'll be instead of that, I'll be watching the Terminator thing. So yeah. I'll be giving my thoughts on the Terminator thing, and me and Kate will actually be discussing that.
So, and yeah, thank you for dropping links, mods.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can rest in peace. As I said, what a way to go.
Yeah. And I do
if
believe
you don't know how he passed away, look it up. It's not every day you see that as a cause of death.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so like I said, I'll be giving my thoughts on a certain season 2 for a certain show. They'll be giving their thoughts on the Terminator show, but in the meantime, we'll be discussing G.I. Jane tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to message my D&D chat to see if we are at all playing this Sunday, because I know we're taking a little break, but I don't know if we're playing this Sunday and then taking a break or not. If we're not playing, then my plan is to do a watch party on my Discord of the movie Nobody.
Oh, good movie. Love
Yeah.
that.
So if you're part of my Discord, I will message everyone on the Discord side when I plan on possibly starting. But yeah, that if I don't play D&D, then we're doing a watch party Sunday. Saturday evening I should be streaming. Friday definitely be streaming more BioShock Remastered. Getting through that game. This is my first playthrough of BioShock, so I'm going through BioShock Remastered. If I don't do a siblings hangout at all or anything like that, Saturday evening I'll be streaming BioShock again. And then Sunday, Talk Nerdy to Us will be on my channel, my YouTube channel. This one they see on my name, Jade Shadow. So come check that out, 8:30 p.m. Already have a topic to talk about because didn't even get into Monday and we find out the Acolyte was canceled. Shocker. So we'll be talking about that.
Oh, and they all can't handle it.
Nope, they cannot handle. There is an epic meltdown happening. But all of 700 Acolyte fans have rallied together to get a season 2. I guess apparently there was more of us than there was of them.
Hey, they told us not to watch it. And,
Yeah.
some people listened. And, then, yeah.
It's like the feminist Charlie's Angels movie that came out. White men, this movie's not for you. Okay, men don't see it. Why didn't you see the movie? You said it wasn't.
And then they tried blaming men for the movie's failure, except that it turned out that 51% of the people who did watch it were men.
Yeah. It's actually women were the cause of the failure. It's kind of like Furiosa, where it's it did not reach the female demographic that it hoped to reach.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there is chat. So yeah, so that's the kind of streaming schedule moving forward. So watch G.I. Jane for tomorrow evening, about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, same time, and yeah. So there's that. It's been one of those weeks, but yeah,
yes.
And we're only midway through. So, well, those movies are enjoyable to watch. The ones with Charlize Theron, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu. Even though Lucy Liu and Bill Murray hated each other.
Don't you mean? Wait, Charlize Theron?
Oh man, I mean not Charlize Theron. What's her name? Fucking hell.
Block. What's her name? Carmen. Yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, that thing.
Cameron Diaz. Sorry, Chad. That's like I said. This has been a fucking week. But
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu. Lucy Liu and Bill Murray hated each other. But those movies were enjoyable. When I say feminist Charlie's Angels, I'm talking about the shit show that came out a few years ago.
With fucking Twilight chick.
Yeah.
And Power Rangers chick and some other chick.
Where people saw the trailer, women included, who said it was shit.
Where Bill's a fucking bitch.
Yeah. Where we're this is shit. What the hell are you doing? This is not Charlie's Angels. And then we're told, well, it's not made for you, so don't watch
Bill,
it.
But
we're
yeah, Charlie.
Charlie's
a fucking female. And
yeah.
Not only that, it's basically our whole underground movement is an abortion clinic.
Yeah. So
it's what the fuck?
Yeah, so basically they told us it's not made for you, don't see it, don't watch it. We're okay. Then they blamed us for its failure.
Yeah, Soul Assassin, sorry. It's yeah, that thing. Oops. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So it's kind of I was gonna say it's like Ghostbusters 2016. All over again. We were told not to watch it. We said okay. I watched that shit show for free on television. It was one of the movie channels that was on, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll just sit down. I'll watch this. I'll see how bad it is. I still want my money back. Ghostbusters 2016 was a shit show, in my opinion. It was no funny joke whatsoever because the writers, the comedians, the comedic actresses, if you want to call them that, had no concept of timing whatsoever. The jokes fell flat. There's a running gag where Melissa McCartney's character orders from the same Chinese restaurant and he keeps skimping on on her wonton soup. I'm like, bitch, there's dozens of other Chinese restaurants in the New York area. Pick another one. That was the entire running gag throughout the entire movie with her. It was stupid. Anyway. Anyway, chat. But that is Kill Bill Volume 1. We'll be talking Kill Bill Volume 2 next week. And yes, I did not watch The Black Christmas 2019. Fuck that movie. I heard what it was about. And I was like, nope.
I have standards now. If the movie doesn't look good, I ain't watching it.
No.
And if the movie doesn't fucking come to my theater, I'm calling my friend Jack so I can watch it in a timely manner, so I can fucking tell you guys what I think of it. But now, mostly, folks, I don't do reviews.
Yeah,
I do.
And even if it comes to my theater, it had to really pique my interest.
Oh yeah.
For me to spend money to see it.
I mean, my theater's fucking doing movies late, and it's like, please tell me that at least Alien Romulus was coming, and yeah, probably gonna be a week or two late. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I basically went full DPW on that every time something was freaking going wrong. Fuck.
Anyway, Chad, thank you again for hanging out with us, for calling it here. So take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day or evening wherever you are in the world, and we will see you all tomorrow on Orange Chat's account, on X.com for G.I. Jane. Take care, stay safe, and peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.